Have you ever wondered why some relationships thrive, while others fade away despite all efforts? Why do some people seem to naturally connect, while others just can't seem to click, no matter how hard they try? In this video, we're going to explore the hidden traits that could reveal if someone is truly trustworthy, or if they're wearing a mask. You'll learn about the subtle signs that can indicate when someone may not be as sincere as they appear. But that's not all. We'll also dive into timeless wisdom on how to build strong, lasting relationships that are based on true understanding, respect, and shared values. The way you connect with others can make or break your journey in life, whether it's in friendships, family, or business. If you want to build authentic bonds, avoid toxic people, and surround yourself with those who uplift you, then this video is a must-watch. By the end, you'll have the knowledge to spot red flags in relationships and the insight to nurture the ones that matter. Stay tuned to discover the 3 most telling facial traits that often signal someone's true intentions, and learn the unspoken rules that could protect you from misunderstandings and betrayal. So, if you value genuine connections, or simply want to protect yourself from being misled, don't go anywhere. Let's dive in. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Trait 1. A perpetually angry and bitter expression. People who are consistently consumed by anger often wear it on their faces in a way that is impossible to ignore. It's as if their emotions are etched into their very skin, deep, permanent furrows etched between their brows, a tense and clenched jaw, and eyes that seem to always be looking for something or someone to blame. Their expression is an armor of hostility, a shield they unknowingly build to protect themselves from the world, but in doing so, they shut out everything that could help them heal, grow, or connect with others. It's not just an expression, but a reflection of their inner turmoil, their constant battle with frustrations that they cannot seem to overcome. They wear this bitterness so proudly that it becomes part of their identity, almost like a second skin. This kind of expression is in sharp contrast to those who exude positivity, kindness, and optimism. While the angry person walks through life with a face that could sour the mood of anyone nearby, those who live with an open heart and a bright outlook seem to glow. Their smiles are genuine, their eyes filled with warmth and compassion, and they radiate a sense of hope that touches everyone they meet. These people aren't immune to life's struggles, far from it, but they carry with them the belief that challenges are growth opportunities, not the end of the road. It's inspiring, isn't it? How something as simple as a smile can have the power to change the atmosphere of an entire room, and how positivity can create a ripple effect that spreads to everyone it encounters. I truly believe that our attitudes shape the lives we lead. The energy we project into the world is not just a reflection of how we see ourselves, but also of how we expect the world to respond to us. In my opinion, the world is like a mirror, reflecting the energy we emit. If you walk through life with anger in your heart and bitterness on your face, that is exactly what will be reflected in you. You'll encounter more situations that fuel your anger, more people who challenge you, and more moments of frustration that reinforce your negative mindset. It's a vicious cycle that can be hard to break free from. And all the while, you're building walls around yourself, preventing others from getting too close, pushing away the very connections and opportunities that could help you grow. When someone constantly displays anger and bitterness, blaming others for their misfortunes, complaining about every little inconvenience, and viewing the world through a lens of negativity, they create an invisible barrier around themselves. This cloud of negativity blocks their path to meaningful relationships and hinders their personal growth. People naturally shy away from individuals who carry this kind of energy. After all, who wants to spend time with someone who constantly shifts the blame, refuses to take responsibility for their actions, and can't seem to let go of past hurts? It's exhausting, both for the person carrying the anger and for those who are forced to witness it. It's like trying to walk through life with a heavy weight on your shoulders. It's draining, limiting, and ultimately isolating. We all make mistakes. No one is perfect, no matter how much we may try to portray ourselves as such. Even the most saintly figures in history have faced their flaws, imperfections, and failures. What sets us apart is how we handle those mistakes. Do we allow them to define us and hold us down? Or do we choose to learn from them, take responsibility for them, and grow stronger as a result? It's so important to understand that mistakes are not the enemy. It's how we deal with them that truly matters. But when a person is always blaming others, it becomes impossible to learn, to grow, or to move forward. They remain stuck in a cycle of anger and resentment, unable to break free and see the world for what it truly is, a place of endless opportunity, waiting to be embraced. In my own life, I've seen how anger and bitterness can poison relationships. I've witnessed friendships and even family bonds unravel simply because one person couldn't or wouldn't let go of their frustration. They couldn't stop blaming the world, others, or even themselves. And in that state of constant blame, they missed out on the beauty of human connection. The support, the understanding, the compassion that is so vital for our well-being. They became so focused on what went wrong in the past that they couldn't see the present for what it was, an opportunity to build something better. The reality is that no one is going to want to work with someone who is constantly angry, who never takes accountability for their mistakes, and who projects negativity at every turn. No one is going to want to build a long-term connection with someone who is constantly complaining, pointing fingers, and laying blame on everyone else. This kind of attitude creates an invisible barrier between the person and those they encounter. They may find temporary comfort in their anger, but in the long run, they will only create loneliness and frustration for themselves. If we want to form meaningful relationships, whether in the workplace, in our personal lives, or within our communities, we must approach others with openness and empathy, not anger and resentment. I've come to realize that the anger we carry inside of us doesn't just affect those around us, it also affects ourselves. It holds us back, keeps us from reaching our full potential, and prevents us from embracing the joy and peace that life has to offer. It creates unnecessary tension, both within our hearts and in our relationships with others. So, if we want to move forward, if we want to create a life filled with purpose, love, and fulfillment, we must choose to release that anger. We must learn to forgive, not just others, but ourselves. Letting go of the bitterness is not about excusing the wrongs that have been done to us. It's about freeing ourselves from the chains of negativity that hold us down. When we let go of anger, we make room for understanding. When we stop blaming others, we make room for accountability. When we open our hearts instead of guarding them with a perpetual scowl, we allow ourselves to experience true connection and true growth. The choice is ours. We can choose to carry that burden of anger with us forever, or we can choose to lay it down and walk into a future full of endless possibilities. And I believe with all my heart that the latter will always bring us more peace, joy, and fulfillment than any grudge ever could. Trait 2. Greedy eyes and self-serving expressions. Desire is an intrinsic part of human nature, an unshakable force that exists deep within us all. It's a drive we often overlook or dismiss, but in reality, it is a central part of our identity, subtly shaping our actions and guiding our decisions every day. The desire for more success, more wealth, more recognition, seems to be endless. For instance, when you finally achieve the dream of owning a home, the initial excitement and contentment may soon fade, replaced by the thought of owning a car that matches the grandeur of your new house. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Once you've acquired the car, it's easy to find yourself daydreaming of an even bigger house, perhaps in a more prestigious neighborhood, or imagining the luxury car that could truly reflect your success. But here's the thing. No matter how much you acquire, the cycle of desire never truly ends. One goal is reached, and immediately, there's a new one to chase. It's as though we are perpetually chasing after an ever-distant horizon, believing that once we reach it, we'll finally be content. But the truth is, this cycle can be dangerous if left unchecked. The critical distinction lies not in our desires themselves, but in how we manage and control them. Everyone has dreams and ambitions, and there's nothing inherently wrong with striving for betterment or personal growth. However, what separates those who lead fulfilling lives from those consumed by an unquenchable thirst for more is our ability to keep these desires in check. We must learn to keep our ambitions within ethical, moral, and legal boundaries. But some people fail to do this. They allow their desires to grow unchecked, turning into something darker, greed. And this unchecked greed is often revealed through the smallest, most subtle signals. One of the most telling signs of such greed is in their eyes. Eyes that gleam with an insatiable hunger. It's a hunger not just for material things, but for power, influence, and control. These are the eyes that never seem satisfied, always looking for the next opportunity, the next thing to possess. Their gaze can feel almost predatory, as though they are constantly assessing how they can use those around them for their gain. It's as though they are calculating, measuring the worth of everyone and everything they encounter, and deciding how they can benefit from the situation. This is a level of selfishness that goes beyond ordinary desire. It is a relentless pursuit of personal advantage, no matter the cost to others. Accompanying these hungry eyes are expressions, subtle, but unmistakably self-serving. Their smiles may appear warm, and their words may seem kind, but the gestures, the tone, and the body language speak a different story. Every smile feels calculated, every compliment hollow, as if they're trying to charm you into trusting them, all the while working toward their agenda. Their actions, though cloaked in the guise of politeness or care, are often designed to manipulate, control, and exploit. They may say all the right things, and use all the right gestures, but underneath it all, their intentions are transparent to anyone who takes the time to look beyond the surface. The most insidious thing about such individuals is that they are masters of deception. Their ability to project an image of sincerity is nothing short of extraordinary. They know exactly how to use charm and charisma to their advantage, often leading others to believe they are genuine, and that they have your best interests at heart. They are incredibly adept at building trust, and at first, it's almost impossible to detect that something is off. They can make you feel like you're the most important person in the room, creating an illusion of empathy and understanding, only to reveal, much later, that you were nothing more than a stepping stone for them to climb higher. In many cases, these individuals don't just stop at manipulation. When their greed reaches its peak, they may resort to more sinister tactics: deceit, sabotage, and even betrayal. They might plant seeds of doubt among your friends, colleagues, or loved ones, spreading misinformation to damage your reputation and weaken your position. In extreme cases, they may actively plot against you, using your trust and confidence against you to secure their advantage. This type of person can become dangerous because they operate in the shadows, pretending to be your ally, all the while positioning themselves as your competitor, hoping to take advantage of any vulnerability you might reveal. I have encountered such people in my own life, and I can't help but reflect on the times when I was blindsided by their charm. At first, it's so easy to be drawn in, to trust them, because they make you feel understood, seen, and even admired. But as time goes on, you begin to sense something isn't quite right. You might notice their words don't always match their actions, or that they seem to have an uncanny ability to exploit your weaknesses without you even realizing it. Perhaps they manipulate the truth, twisting facts to suit their needs, or they create situations where you feel indebted to them, as though you owe them something when in reality, it's they who owe you. Over time, you start to see the cracks in their facade, but it's not always easy to confront these realizations. There's often a sense of betrayal, a feeling that you've been played, that you were nothing more than a pawn in their game. It's a harsh lesson, but one that serves as a reminder to always be vigilant. Never let charm or outward expressions of goodwill blind you to the reality of someone's true intentions. Trust your instincts, look beyond the words, and pay attention to how they treat others. If you start to notice that they only seem to care when it benefits them, or if their generosity always comes with strings attached, it's time to step back and reevaluate the relationship. Because, ultimately, dealing with such people requires caution, awareness, and, above all, wisdom. We must be careful not to allow ourselves to become their victims, caught in their web of manipulation and greed. Though they may seem harmless or even appealing at first, their true intentions are often far more dangerous than we realize. Once we recognize their true nature, we must be ready to act, to protect ourselves, and to make sure we're not swayed by the deceptive charm of those whose eyes are filled with nothing but their selfish desires. Always tread carefully when dealing with people whose eyes shine with greed, because behind their smile lies a hunger that can consume everything in its path. Trait 3. Constant smiles and excessive flattery. We've all encountered people who seem to carry an eternal smile on their faces, those individuals who appear to be perpetually upbeat and radiating positive energy. They glide through life with an air of calm, as if nothing could ever rattle their sense of peace. When tensions rise, when conflicts flare up, they remain unfazed, effortlessly brushing off any disagreements as if they hold no significance. They possess an uncanny ability to charm everyone they meet, striking up conversations with ease, making others feel comfortable, and, most importantly, making themselves likable to all. At first glance, it's almost impossible not to be drawn to them. Their infectious smiles and easygoing nature seem to embody all that we are told we should strive for: kindness, composure, and charm. However, while their polished exterior is certainly attractive, it's crucial to take a step back and ask ourselves, is everything as perfect as it seems? Because the truth is, no one is flawless. Behind every cheerful persona, behind every smiling face, lies a depth of complexity, and not all of it is as sunny as it may first appear. When someone constantly seems to walk through life without a single misstep, it's not always a sign of true happiness or self-assurance. It often signals that something is being hidden. Perhaps they are covering up their flaws, insecurities, or unresolved issues. Maybe they're trying so hard to maintain a picture-perfect image that they've neglected to deal with the more challenging aspects of their emotional and mental well-being. More often than not, if someone appears too good to be true, there's something more lurking beneath the surface. This is especially true for those individuals who seem to exude warmth, friendliness, and positivity at every turn, yet their eyes tell a different story. Have you ever met someone who smiles constantly, but there's an eerie coldness in their eyes, a glimmer of something that doesn't quite align with the joy they project outwardly? If so, then you might be dealing with someone who's masking their true feelings, someone who hides behind their smile to avoid revealing the truth about themselves. And here's where things can get tricky. While compliments and praise are normal and, at times, deserved, there's a fine line between genuine admiration and excessive flattery. When someone showers you with compliments that feel a little too perfect, a little too rehearsed, that's often a red flag. Excessive flattery, while flattering at the moment, can frequently be insincere. It's often used as a tool to manipulate or influence you, rather than a genuine expression of admiration. This type of behavior usually stems from ulterior motives. When someone heaps praise upon you with such enthusiasm, it's worth considering what they might be hoping to gain from you in return. The person who constantly praises you may not have your best interests at heart. They may simply be trying to win your favor for their gain. Whether it's seeking financial benefits, boosting their social standing, or climbing the corporate ladder, excessive flattery is often a subtle form of manipulation. It may feel good to hear someone tell you that you're amazing or that you're the best at what you do, but it's important to remember that sweet words can be empty if they're not supported by meaningful actions. If someone consistently compliments you, but their behavior doesn't align with their words, it's time to start questioning their true intentions. As flattering as it may be, we must be cautious not to allow ourselves to be blinded by words. Compliments, no matter how extravagant, should not be the sole basis of our judgment of others. Instead, we need to focus on their actions, on how they treat others, and on the substance of their character. Genuine admiration doesn't require excessive praise. It's found in the small, everyday things. How a person shows up for you when you need them, how they respect your boundaries, and how they contribute positively to your life. In the long run, it's the actions, not the words, that will reveal whether someone is truly worth your time and trust. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that someone who constantly compliments us and appears so friendly must be genuine. After all, who wouldn't want to be liked by everyone, right? But the truth is, not everyone who smiles at you is your friend, and not everyone who flatters you has your best interests at heart. This is why it's essential to judge people based on their actions, not the sweet things they say to you. Actions are the true measure of a person's integrity, and if someone's actions don't match their words, you should be cautious. I've often reflected on the wise words of the famous Chinese philosopher Zheng Guan. When interacting with others, do not blindly trust appearances. Look for the truth hidden behind the facade. This advice is so powerful because it reminds us that appearances can be deceiving. We live in a world where people are skilled at creating facades to protect themselves or manipulate others. The ability to see past these facades is not always easy, but it is necessary. If we fail to discern between those who are sincere and those who are masking their true intentions, we can easily fall victim to toxic relationships or deceitful individuals. In my experience, navigating human relationships is an intricate and delicate balance. Some people may spend years in the same space, whether it's in a friendship, a marriage, or a workplace, and still never truly connect. There is no real bond, no genuine understanding between them. But then there are others, rare and extraordinary individuals, with whom you feel an instant connection. You meet them for the first time, and something clicks between you. It's as if you've known each other forever. There's no need for small talk or forced smiles. The connection is immediate, deep, and effortless. These moments of true connection are what I cherish most in life. They are the essence of what it means to be human. There's an unspoken energy that flows between two people who truly understand each other, a sense of mutual respect and recognition that needs no explanation. It's in these moments that you realize that like-minded individuals are naturally drawn to each other. They don't need to work hard at maintaining a connection, because it comes naturally. This kind of bond is built on honesty, trust, and a shared understanding of the world. It's not something that can be manufactured or manipulated with flattering words. True, meaningful relationships aren't based on excessive praise or surface-level pleasantries. They are grounded in authenticity and genuine care. When you find these connections, you will know it in your heart. And while it can sometimes be difficult to navigate the complexities of human relationships, it's always worth striving for these deeper, more meaningful connections. They are the ones that last, the ones that truly enrich our lives and bring us peace. So, as we move through life, let's remember to stay mindful of the facades people put up, and focus instead on the truth beneath the surface. Only then can we build the relationships that truly matter. Friendships that are rooted in shared values and mutual understanding are not just ordinary connections. They are the very essence of what it means to truly belong, to feel understood and seen for who we are. These friendships create an undeniable sense of warmth, comfort, and trust, making life not only bearable but truly worth living. When we find such friends, we know that we can speak candidly and openly with them, without the constant fear of being judged or misunderstood. There's a special freedom in this kind of connection. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. We can talk about anything, from the most trivial concerns to the deepest, most vulnerable parts of our hearts, knowing that the other person will listen with empathy, not criticism. They will not just tolerate our flaws, but accept and even embrace them, recognizing that these imperfections are what make us human. Similarly, they will celebrate our strengths, offering support and encouragement when we shine, and lifting us when we falter. These friendships are built on a foundation of genuine care and respect, where there is no pretense, no facades. Just two people being their authentic selves, constantly striving to make the other person feel valued and understood. In such friendships, there is an unspoken understanding that goes beyond mere words. It's as though there's a silent bond, a connection that transcends the ordinary, that makes each interaction feel profound, no matter how brief. It's a bond that endures, even in moments when words are unnecessary, when a simple glance or a shared silence says everything that needs to be said. These relationships are like rare treasures, and to have a kindred spirit, someone whose energy aligns with yours, whose soul resonates with yours, is like discovering a precious gem hidden in the vast expanse of life. It's akin to sitting beneath the stars on a cool, clear night, surrounded by the gentle hum of music and the warmth of shared laughter, where time seems to slow down and every moment feels timeless. There is an inexplicable magic in these connections, a beauty that cannot be put into words, a sense of peace that comes from knowing that you are not alone, no matter what challenges life may bring. What makes these relationships even more remarkable is that they often transcend the usual barriers that separate us. Age, social status, cultural differences, or even physical distance. In the world we live in, where people are often divided by so many external factors, these friendships serve as a reminder that true connection is not bound by geography or circumstances. Even if life places great distances between us, even if mountains or oceans lie between two souls, the bond remains strong. It's as if the emotional and spiritual connection between two kindred spirits is immune to the limitations of space and time. No matter where you are, no matter how far apart you may be, these friends will always feel close in heart, and always be present in spirit. They understand you, not just on a surface level, but in the deepest parts of your being. They know what makes you laugh, what makes you cry, and what stirs your soul in the most profound ways. Their presence, even from afar, can be felt, because the energy shared between you is so pure, so real, that it cannot be dulled by the miles or the years that may separate you. I think of a psychological study I came across once, where a group of strangers was brought together to discuss controversial topics. After the discussion, participants were asked to rate how much they liked each other. The results were striking. Those who shared similar viewpoints consistently rated each other more favorably. This experiment, while simple, underscores a profound truth. People with similar values, beliefs, and perspectives tend to form bonds more quickly and easily. When two people share the same way of thinking or a similar outlook on life, there's an immediate connection, an unspoken recognition that, despite all the differences that might exist between them, they are on the same wavelength. It's like two musical instruments playing in harmony, where the sound just clicks, where everything fits together seamlessly. In contrast, when two people have conflicting views, understanding each other becomes an arduous task. It's as though they are speaking different languages, and no matter how much they try, the connection never quite happens. They are like parallel lines. They may run alongside each other, they may exist side by side, but they will never meet. The more they interact, the more isolated they may feel. But when two souls share the same frequency, when their perspectives resonate with each other, the connection feels effortless. There is a shared understanding, a mutual sense of alignment that doesn't require constant effort. It just is. This shared understanding and alignment of energy is what forms the foundation of relationships that stand the test of time. Have you ever met someone and, within moments, felt as though you've known them for a lifetime? It's as if the very air around you shifts, and there's an immediate recognition of something deeper, something beyond the surface. There's no need to force it or try to make it happen. It simply does. You feel like you've known them forever because, in a way, you have. There's an invisible thread that binds you together, a shared understanding that doesn't need to be spoken aloud. What they value, you value. What they aspire to, you aspire to. Your goals, dreams, and principles are in perfect harmony with theirs. There is a rare and precious beauty in these kinds of connections, and I believe that such friendships are one of life's greatest gifts. As the saying goes, only those with a shared spirit can walk through life's trials and tribulations together. This is so true. Only those whose souls are in tune with one another can truly understand and appreciate the beauty within each other's hearts. They see the hidden depths, the rawness, the unspoken thoughts that often go unnoticed by others. And in this shared understanding, there is a safety, a security in knowing that you can be your truest self without fear of rejection or judgment. In these friendships, there is no need for pretenses. You are free to be vulnerable, to be open, to be honest in a way that feels safe and natural. It's a space where you don't have to perform, don't have to hide. You can simply be, and that is enough. Every lasting relationship, whether it's a friendship, a partnership, or a close bond, is never just the result of coincidence. It's the result of shared values, shared dreams, and a deep mutual understanding. When minds truly understand each other, words often become unnecessary. The connection is felt on a deeper level, a level that doesn't need explanations or justifications. It simply exists. When two people are truly compatible, their connection is effortless. It doesn't matter what challenges life throws their way, or how far apart they may be physically. The bond between them remains strong and unwavering. You know, deep in your heart, that no matter what obstacles life places in your path, this person will always be there for you. They will climb mountains, cross oceans, and endure hardships just to bring you joy and stand beside you. There is a certain trust that comes with this kind of bond, a trust that is built on years of shared experiences, of standing by each other through thick and thin. And even though life may separate you for a time, the friendship never fades. It only grows stronger, because the foundation is built on something unshakable. But friendships, like all relationships, require care. Even the most enduring bonds can drift apart if not nurtured. Sometimes, the smallest missteps, the tiniest misunderstandings, or even a word spoken in haste can create a rift between two people. It's often the things that go unnoticed, the small actions, the quiet moments, that can slowly erode a connection. And so, it's important to be aware of the delicate balance that sustains these relationships. There are things we should do to nurture them, and things we should avoid to protect them. Even the strongest friendships must adhere to certain unspoken rules to thrive. These rules are not rigid. They are more like a dance, a rhythm that must be followed to maintain harmony. When that balance is disrupted, the relationship may begin to weaken. But when two people truly understand each other, when they share the same spirit and energy, no challenge is too great to overcome. These friendships will stand the test of time because the bond is not only deep, it's also resilient. Here are 5 golden principles that every friendship should follow. Here are 5 golden principles that every friendship should follow. Principles that, in my opinion, are not merely guidelines but the very heart of any meaningful and lasting connection. Friendships are fragile, precious bonds that require trust, respect, and understanding to thrive. They are the relationships that can bring us the greatest joys, but they can also cause the deepest pains if not nurtured with care. Each of these principles is a safeguard, a way to protect the essence of friendship while allowing it to grow. In my experience, these values are not just theoretical. They've been hard-earned over time, learned from both triumphs and failures, and shaped by the genuine desire to maintain healthy, enduring friendships. 1. Talking about money is fine, but don't reveal your entire wealth. Money, in its many forms, often becomes a sensitive topic in friendships. It's natural to want to share successes, especially financial ones. Who doesn't feel a sense of accomplishment when they achieve financial stability or reach a milestone in their career? However, I've learned that while it's okay to talk about the things money can buy, the things that bring joy, security, and freedom, there's a fine line when it comes to revealing the extent of your wealth. It's not about hiding your success, but rather about understanding the delicate balance between sharing and showing off. I've always believed that there's an old yet timeless piece of wisdom that says, "Stay humble and let your success speak for itself." The quietest victories often have the most profound impact. It's important to remember that friendships are built on emotional connections, not material wealth. While one friend may be thriving financially, another may be struggling. Sharing too much can create an unspoken divide that may lead to feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, or even resentment. Money is a sensitive subject. No matter how much we think we can trust someone, it's easy for comparisons to creep in. A financially secure friend might inadvertently make their less fortunate friend feel inferior, and this can erode the bond between them. Beyond that, there's the more insidious side of human nature, greed and jealousy, that can sometimes turn even the most supportive friendships into competition. In some cases, the more you have, the more others may want. I've seen how this can lead to subtle shifts in behavior, from passive-aggressive remarks to unspoken envy, and it often leads to the slow disintegration of a once strong friendship. So, I think it's wise to share your success in a way that's uplifting and humble. When in doubt, silence is often the best option. Let your actions and achievements speak louder than any dollar amount could. 2. Casual chats are fine, but steer clear of gossip and troublemaking. This is something I feel so strongly about because I've seen firsthand the damage that gossip can do. It starts innocently enough, a casual conversation about someone, maybe a mutual friend, and before you know it, the story grows and morphs into something else entirely. Gossip is a silent killer of trust, and it's one of the quickest ways to destroy a friendship. Even a single whispered word can escalate into a huge issue if it's not handled with care. I've learned the hard way that you can't always control where the conversation goes, especially when you're talking about a third person. At first, everything might seem harmless. After all, you're just venting, right? But what you say in private has a way of coming back to haunt you, often when you least expect it. It's so easy for one small comment to get twisted and passed along, and suddenly, a private thought becomes public gossip. It's a painful reality, especially when those rumors end up back at the person you were talking about. When this happens, there's no way to undo the damage. The people involved often find themselves at the mercy of half-truths and misunderstandings. Once trust is lost, it's incredibly hard to rebuild. I've been in situations where I overheard something I wish I hadn't or shared something I thought was harmless but ended up being taken out of context. And what happens when you get caught? It's not just the other person who gets hurt. You hurt yourself as well. You lose your credibility and your integrity, and it can take a long time to regain that respect. The golden rule here is simple. If you wouldn't want the conversation to be repeated, don't say it. And if you're caught in a conversation you're uncomfortable with, change the subject or, better yet, walk away. I believe that real friends don't gossip. They protect each other's dignity and privacy. 3. Complaints are okay, but never criticize your parents. Family can be a delicate topic, and I believe there's something sacred about the bond between a child and their parents, no matter how complicated that bond might sometimes feel. Growing up, I had my moments of frustration with my family, especially when I was younger. It's easy to criticize when you're upset or when things don't go your way, but I've come to realize that there's a fine line between expressing frustration and disrespecting those who raised you. As friends, we are sometimes the emotional outlets for each other's frustrations, but when it comes to parents, there are certain things I believe should remain unspoken. The phrase, "A child never scorns their mother's faults," has always resonated with me. Sure, you may feel angry, misunderstood, or neglected, but it's important to remember that your parents are human too, and they may be doing the best they can. It's easy to get caught up in a moment of anger and say things that we don't mean. But criticizing your parents, even in jest or frustration, can lead to lasting damage in a friendship. Once those words are said, they can't be unsaid, and you risk alienating yourself from someone who holds their family dear. I've seen how easily this can escalate into a cycle of resentment. As a friend, it's important to tread lightly and offer a listening ear when your friend is venting about their parents. But no matter how deep the frustrations may run, never encourage or add fuel to the fire. You may not understand their family dynamics, and sometimes, things that seem insignificant to you may be deeply painful for them. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Family is a complex web of love, sacrifice, and imperfections. And while it's okay to vent, it's never okay to tear down someone's family, because in the end, family is irreplaceable. 4. Attend gatherings but avoid inappropriate closeness with the opposite sex. This principle might seem old-fashioned to some, but I've always believed that respect for relationships and boundaries is crucial. When you're close friends with someone, you may develop a deep level of comfort with their significant other, and it can feel natural to be friendly with them. However, there's always a fine line when it comes to how close you get. Think of it this way. Love is fragile, and even the smallest misstep can break the trust between two people. I've learned that it's important to remember that a friend's spouse or partner is off limits, even in the smallest ways. An overly friendly gesture, a moment of inappropriate familiarity, or a flirtatious remark. These things might seem innocent at first, but they can spark jealousy and cause unnecessary tension in a relationship. Trust, once broken, is incredibly hard to repair. I believe that when you treat your friend's partner with the respect they deserve as part of a couple, you are helping to preserve the harmony in that relationship. There's no room for ambiguity in friendships. Be respectful, and always be mindful of the boundaries that exist between you and your friend's significant other. It's not about mistrust. It's about safeguarding the delicate balance of affection and loyalty that relationships require. 5. Joking is fine, but never belittle others. I've always believed that humor is one of the greatest gifts in life. It's a way to connect, to lighten the mood, and to share joy with the people we care about. But humor should never come at the expense of someone else's dignity. I've seen how easily jokes can cross the line into cruelty, and once that happens, the laughter fades, and the damage remains. I've witnessed friends make jokes about other people's flaws, whether physical, emotional, or social, and although everyone laughed at the time, I could always feel the discomfort lurking beneath the surface. Humor should always be an uplifting experience. It should make people feel included, valued, and appreciated. A joke at someone else's expense is never truly funny if it hurts someone. Instead of belittling others, I believe that true humor comes from finding joy in shared experiences, in the things that make us unique, and in supporting each other's growth. Everyone has insecurities, and it's crucial to understand that humor should never be used to exploit those vulnerabilities. It's about creating an environment where everyone feels safe, respected, and uplifted. So, there you have it. 5 golden principles that can help shape and strengthen your friendships. These timeless rules are not just guidelines. They are the very foundation of trust, respect, and love that every lasting friendship needs. From being mindful of money to knowing the limits of humor and respecting boundaries, it's all about understanding the delicate balance that makes true friendships thrive. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What has resonated with you the most from these principles? Is there one thing you've learned today that you're excited to bring into your friendships? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to read what you've learned and how you plan to put it into practice. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content like this. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.